to keep possession alive.
Huge bid, gets the
It's a great
time.
opportunity for the Germans, and they break it
He
in.
throw it the full 80 yards to the field? Are you kidding me?
And an incredible
You
catch.
are kidding me!
Oh my gosh!
One of the plays of the year! stage to keep possession alive.
Huge bid, gets the
It's a great
time.
opportunity for the Germans, and they break it in.
throw it the full 80 yards to the field? Are you kidding me?
An incredible catch.
You are kidding me!
Oh my God!
One of the plays of the year! stage to keep possession alive.
Huge bid, gets the
Great
target.
opportunity for the Germans, and they break with ease.
Throw it the full 80 yards to the field? Are you kidding me?
And an incredible
You
catch.
are kidding me!
Oh my God!
One of the plays of the year!
Welcome back, Ultimate fans. Day 2 here in Edmonton, Alberta, in the senior phase of the 2025 Canadian Ultimate Championships. My name is Clayton Howlett. I'm here with G. Lee for a pool matchup here in our mixed division between Parched from Kamloops in the red and Koda from Cambridge, Ontario in the white. Tis a bit windy, G.
Just a wee bit. We're flying all over the place, and I don't think it's going to stop.
No, yesterday we had a lot of wind, but some sunshine, some clouds and everything. It is supposed to be a little wet today as well, so we will see if the moisture comes into play today. Kind of like hoping it won't, but
We're begging for it.
wishful thinking. So this match, there were only 2 pool play games in the mixed division yesterday, and that's why we are still in pool play today, while some of the other divisions have entered power pools. And those matchups, a men's division and open division, I should say, pardon me, and our women's division will have some crossovers happening later this afternoon, which we will bring you on stream. But first, we're going to be bringing you 2 mixed pool play games. This one and following this game will be Quest from Quebec and TT from Vancouver. G, what are you looking forward to in this game?
I'm looking forward to seeing how everyone can break this wind and just keep going with it and just play. They only had 2 games yesterday, so a lot of these mixed teams did end quite early. So they should have some legs. They should be going, and they're coming out hot.
Yeah, it's true. I was walking around, socializing a bit after one of my earlier games yesterday, and it was funny. I was talking to all these players at about 2 in the afternoon, like, how's your tournament going? What's your next game? They're like, oh, I'm finished for the day.
Yeah.
It was a little bit different.
Early.
So there goes the horn. So 90 seconds to pull for the team in white. Koda, who was seeded last year at Canadian Nationals in Ottawa and achieved a 13th place finish, and this year were higher in their regional result. Their pull goes out of bounds, and Petra Steven will pick up. Koda looking to start in an honest defense with some poachy handlers against this parched horizontal offense. Petra has Georgetti underneath. She looks to flip the shoals. It's not there. Play. Gets that to Shawls. Shawls looking for options. Savage trying to provide the reset. It's not there. Georgetti making up the under on a contested catch. Shawls isolated in the middle. He's able to muscle his way until he gets a bonk in the face. Accidental, but he took one to the noggin pretty hard there. So accidental. He seems all right. Always want to be careful with any hit to the head.
I feel like we're going to see a lot of Georgetti in this game. She seems to be pretty easy in the open. Oh!
Signaled in by the observers. An athletic catch there by the youngster Nathaniel Play. And that gets Parched on the board with a hold. Score 1-0. Gee, I was thinking that offense from Parched looked pretty clean. A lot of isolation work going.
Yes. Right in through the middle, and they're not worried about it. They're just pushing through that middle, but they have a lot of space there right now to work. So I'm guessing they've been told that if they clear that space and just keep moving, they're going to get some easy ones. But like I said, Georgetti was open every single time in that middle, so I think we're going to see a lot of that.
Georgetti coming off her season on the Team Canada circuit with the Masters mixed team. They achieved bronze in Irvine in California.
Yes.
She was a big cutter for them throughout the whole tournament. I had the pleasure of watching her play at that tournament, and quite dominant in the lane. So obviously we're going to expect the same. The David Stout holding up the disc with the pull for Parched here. Coach of Helios with his teammate Duncan Shawls. That pull will land in bounds, and they center to the Fev.
Looks
Koda, who then put it up right away, but Stelk is there to shut the door. It seemed that Lefebvre blew a tire on his huck. Didn't get what he wanted on it. Stelk is going to go right to co-announcer Jen Beck. And it is underthrown, so Koda in turn defend the shallow huck. Both teams electing to go match defense, but with a lot of poaching in the lanes, Koda's forced to flip that over, but it is successful. Harrison. He flips that up the line to Bedley. He'll get it back in the middle. There is a pick call down the. I think it was maybe on Harrison's movement across.
travel. It was a travel call.
Okay. Yep. Gee, just when you want to cut me off earlier when I don't want to talk.
I'm sorry. I just saw the hand signal finally. Some teams are using hand signals, some teams aren't.
You know what, Ed? It's true. It is a challenge.
So
we always like to, bring you streams brought to you by hand signals. They're so helpful for us up here.
and if anybody
We're getting better as a community, I think.
if anybody knows me, I can't see much, so hand signals help me a lot.
Yeah, and sometimes not everyone knows what happened and signals something else. I saw a pick call first, but turns out it was a travel. And I think the person who signaled pick was probably on the same page as I was, as I don't actually know what I'm talking about. Bedley trying to signal what his movement was so that everyone's in the right place, asks if everyone's happy. Everyone seems happy. So is Lefebvre for bringing that in. That was close. He needs a reset. A lot of handlers kind of crowding him. He's got two open people that are cutting each other off. Eventually, it moves around to Hodgson, and she'll dump that back to Stones. Stones looking for something from the front. Doesn't like the fact that there's a poacher in the middle. Her options are getting cut off. Stones. Head, Lauren Reed, who hits the ground. Reed tries to sneak it to Stones with the IO back end. Seemed a little forced, G.
They're really trying to push it through that poach, but right now I think if they were able to get that disc across the field, I think they'll have a better chance.
Stelk's
Big.
going to put it up again. This is going to allow inbounds, but it is contested. Great defensive play by Alex Bedley. Bedley maintaining his inside position without committing a foul. Sometimes a hard thing to do, actually. And great positional D by him. The Bev wants that inside. Parched continuing to poach, and it works. As Mavity shuts the door. We'll give it to John McCarty, who I've seen at every tournament, everywhere for the last 15 years, a veteran playing with this kind of 50-50 Parched team. Veterans and rookies alike here. Mavity flips that back to Petcow. Blythe Petcow. Fikes players shout out Victoria. Stelk. As Offstas in the middle. Another Vike. She's looking for a dump. Will go to Beck. Beck blows a tire. Gets back up. Abel has something in the middle. She lays it out for that low pass, but it's just on the wrong side of her body to make that catch. Gee, what do you give that layout out of 10?
Because it's Beck, I'll give her an 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
She's a little cold right now, so she's warming up.
Beck also playing in the Grand Masters division.
That's right. And Masters. She
That's
has
right,
played
yeah.
all divisions
Trifecta.
this year.
So this poachy defense from Parched, I mean, it's half match, but like really trying to crowd the lane, really trying to junk it up in the middle, forcing Koda to take a lot of looks. Koda showing some great patience here. Stones electing not to throw into traffic, has a crash. To Harrison, he and Stones, will play a little bit of pass together. The Fev comes back as they continue to try and push the middle crashes, but don't seem to have a problem with dump and swing.
Parched is looking to push them back as much as they can. They're leaving that poach right there and just allowing this easy little swing over here, but nothing else. There's nothing up the field right now for them. So these dishes are all that's working at the moment.
Lefebvre has stones. She uses her body to seal out Obstes. But now looking for the inside. Atkow almost had a line on that, but Miller seals her out. Harrison to Lefebvre. Lefebvre really working that slash cut to get open. But now we see this big poach. It almost looks like a zone. They'll air it out to Stones. Stones in double coverage. Stelk shuts the door. Tough situation for Stones. The two tallest players on red did converge on her there. But she had good position. Just lost to the height advantage.
Anything over the top right now, it's sitting.
Yes.
It's going to be really hard, and those boys are up back there baiting you to throw them.
McCarty tries to put that out in front of Obstes, but the wind in this direction has just been diminishing all the power behind Ux. But Beck with a huge layout BG, you love to see it. And timeout Beck.
Sweet cheeks, Beck. What a layout. What a bid.
Well, this has been a long point. The score is 1-0. You know, the conditions are definitely playing a part. As you said, the disc is sitting. Just anything over the top.
Anything over the top.
Be working.
And
Or on the D, it is working.
You can also tell Koda's just playing on this side of the field. They're barely have they gone to the other side of the field. It's really tough in this wind right now, so everything's coming to our side. But they have to try and find a way to stretch this field a bit more laterally.
Yeah, that has kind of been the story of the week, both in juniors and the first day of seniors yesterday, is flipping the field. That's an expression to mean, like, you know, if you're on the away side, the home side, the left side, the right side, whatever, get it all the way over to the other side, which has been difficult for teams. That first swing, when you like get a dump, like maybe on a jam cut that is going right behind the handler, and then you immediately look to throw it into the wind, and you get this giant gust in the face, and you're like, ooh, yeah, So teams are going to have to work hard for that, because the trap on the windy sideline,
It's working.
it's working for the defense here. So we've got, want to say, well, this is interesting. Koda sets up in a very poachy defense off the timeout. Parched tries to run a split stack play. It doesn't really work out thanks to all that poachy defense. Beck's pass is low, but kept up by Red twice as Mafty is able to keep that pass up. He's going to air that out to Petkow. Petkow takes a little hop and skip to make sure that's in goal. Parched. That's their first, that, I should say, is a break.
That is a break. And what a break that was. He saw her coming and just gave a little bit of time on that, and it sat perfectly for her as she ran that down. Great D point for Red.
Yet to see Koda get on the board. I mean, we know why they struggled with that point. They were doing a good job kind of working it down the sideline, got a little impatient in the red zone, popped it over to the top to double coverage. Parched took the second seed out of BC. It was quite a battle at regionals, actually. The Richmond Royals were looking like this new upcoming team and favored to win the whole thing. And it was actually Super Dumplings that took the first seed. You might see them
In their beautiful, like their tracksuits.
The tracksuits, yeah.
There's a few teams in some full gear this weekend. Well, week.
Yeah, and but Parched came second, beating Royals in the semifinal of the regional tournament, which is a big achievement for them. They're a very tight-knit group. There's not a very large community of, well, not a community. There's not a large pool of people that play Ultimate in Kamloops and in the Okanagan. And what they end up doing is they do pull in players from all around to make this team. And they've been playing together in league and at fun tournaments for a long time, and then made the transition to competitive a few years ago, and have I feel kind of burst onto the scene. Like they're a sudden contender out of nowhere. They've got a lot of athleticism. You've got a core of veterans building a young team. I really should have asked who the oldest person on the team was, but
There's a few.
There's a few.
There's a few
but,
on this team.
But at the same time, we've got 18-year-olds out there playing, so a really neat formation for Parched. Koda facing off against a zone D from Parched this time. They find a hole in the middle, elevating early to bring that in is Migdal. She's going to flip that to Carreri. She sticks around for the dump. Parched popping into a match defense. They're going to try and go around to Migdal. He elevates and gets it in triple coverage. Koda on the board at last with the quick hold they needed that one. Someone just dabbed that so 6 years ago, but it doesn't matter. They needed that hold to stay in high spirits, I think. I think if they got scored on there, that would have been a timeout and a regroup.
After a long point too, right? So for them to come back with a quick, easy hold, I think helps them a lot just for momentum's sake and energy's sake. But that was a great swing across. What a great look to find her on the other side of the field, and just they did it. They did exactly what we said they needed to do. Get out of that trap and complete it.
Yeah, and just find the hole. And they really did there. Natalia Migdal was open for days. And sorry, that was Carreri with the goal. I got those two. They got their names mixed up. But Carreri reeled that in triple coverage. And speaking of tight-knit teams, Koda's got a mantra for their team that they play this game and they put the effort into it because you love making that commitment. You love putting effort and time into something to get good and do it with your friends and commit. And I'm paraphrasing here, but the team has really worked on pushing hard alongside each other to get to this stage. Their goal is to play in the top 8. So, with how they've improved over the last 2 years between their placement at Nationals last year, their placement at Regionals this year, we're going to see what they can do. And they look like they're in very positive spirits as well. Schulz looking for some options over the zone. Fakes the over-the-top scooper. It's not there. Ben Savage, recent UVic graduate. There's a few of them on this Okanagan team. Gets that around to Georgetti. Her pass kept low to Kenyan coach Katie Wong. She'll flip that to Steven. Savage is able to dig that out of the ground with the clap catch. Number 69 on Koda. Luis Machado says, that hit the ground, dude, before you had control. He might have a point. That edge, as Savage was catching it, he did have his hand underneath it, but while he was trying to gain control, did the edge of the disc, the rim, kind of contact the ground? It's possible. Brad immediately on the sideline here wants the video review. That comes after the observers need it, but we did have a review situation in our junior final, which was wild on the winning point for Origine in the open final. If you haven't watched a junior open final, everyone, and you want to see something unique, watch the last point. And it is available on YouTube. It's ruled up, or it's agreed to up, one of the two. Didn't need the video review, Parched. But they flip that around to Steven. Her pass is up high. No one's getting it except for Stone. No, sorry, that is Madison MacArthur with the D. Koda will put that up. Nobody is there as that pass is caught by the wind. Gee, I feel like I'm going to say that a lot.
This wind right now, it's picking up, and so anything you throw a little bit higher than usual, it's gone.
We're going to upgrade it to bananas. The wind is bananas.
Bananas.
Schulz takes the shot. He doesn't care about the wind. Fielded well by number 14, Grace McDonald. She'll flip that to play. Wong is open. He takes his time. And Schulz makes the play that might have been for Wong, but Schulz had a beat on it, and he takes it to ensure the goal. Turns to his teammates and smiles and says, maybe that wasn't for me, but
Whoops.
I got it. And you know what? Making an athletic play like that, who cares? The score, 3-1 for Parched.
That was a great throw. That throw right there, that big rip right there was just
It's like Schulz could hear me saying this wind is
This
brutal.
wind
He's
is
like,
brutal.
yeah, watch this.
Hold my drink.
Yeah.
Hold my drink.
Oh, man. But on the other side of the coin, I mean, Koda has taken some shots, and the wind is just unfriendly to them. Every shot they've had to a deep strike has been underthrown, overthrown. It's just not really clicking for them right now. Directionally, I want to say it's coming from the top right of your screen to the bottom left, bottom middle. It's hard to say. Here in our vantage point in what feels like the second highest elevation in Edmonton, in this booth, it's windy, it's cold, but we can get a real sense of the conditions up here.
It's because we're sitting down. Once you stand up, we're at the highest point.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you to True North Scaffolding for getting us up here. We want to be up here. Trust us. We don't
do.
want to be at field level. But, man, the wind changes up here. That pole's kind of shallow, but Koda doesn't seem to be in a rush to tap it in. So Parched is able to set up a defense. Stones. She'll move it around with her handlers. Koda once again making these little passes together in the middle. That pass knocked out of the hands of Fabian Lefebvre. He definitely had that foul, no contests. Jaden in charge immediately calling it on himself. Good spirit there to recognize what happened. Lefebvre needs some options. He's looking for a dump, but it's windy. He wants something clear. Alex Bedley making up the distance as Blythe Petcow was in the area to go for the D.
This handler defense right now is pretty strong. They're just doing such a good job of containing the handlers in like a tiny, tiny space. Oh, there's an injury.
Yeah, Lauren Reed made that athletic catch. She hits the ground, face in the grass. Barrel rolls off the field. She's
Looks like a shoulder?
Yeah, holding her shoulder a bit there. It's an awkward catch. Luckily, she's got lots of teammates in the area who are going to check her out and make sure she's okay. Number 18, Jade Bedley will come onto the field. Looks like it's coming in on the 0 as the injury occurred as soon as Reed had caught that. Alex Bedley puts it to Stones. Both Bedleys available. They find Jade. Arch doing a great job of really hustling back and clogging the lane. Even when Koda gets some upfield throws here,
They get one and then they get stopped.
they're just really clogging that space. Seeing number 89 on Parched there. Patrick Mavity just everywhere in the middle to stop the continues. This is that one though. Koda sneaks one through. Now they have an advantage, but the wind pops it up. Brought down by Rhiannon Hodgson. She's able to flip that to an open receiver. Got a little scary there for Koda, but they stick with it and they continue to hold the score. Now 3-2. Gee, I'm not sure who scored that. It was funny at the beginning of the game, Koda said, we're going to apologize for the font of our jerseys. And before the game starts, I believe that was number 4, Krista Ioannidis. And to be fair, it was funny. Her jersey was the worst. All the eyes looked like Jade.
Oh, that's tough.
Yeah, it's not Krista.
I forgive them because they have a pretty sick logo. That bear on there looks
bear
pretty
is
sweet.
nice.
So I forgive them. We forgive you. Don't worry about it, Koda. We will try and read your numbers.
Is Edmonton, Alberta known as Bear Country? Is it?
Isn't it Alberta?
Is Alberta Bear Country? As Koda said in their write-up, the Bears are going to Bear Country. I love that.
I do too.
Dear Alberta.
I think the sideline hurt us as well.
Yeah, they've been helping us a lot, hemming it up a bit. So Koda needs this break to get back on serve. That is, get the game back to sort of a shot-for-shot trade. So we'll see. That ball goes out of bounds. So clapping his hands, that
Observer Jeff.
disappointment.
Observer Jeff on that side right now, counting.
Oh, yeah.
They only have 20 seconds
That's
to come
right.
back into the field. I hate that count.
Hey.
It's awful.
What do you mean? I swear I've never covered a game where you took your time. Anyway, moving right along. Simon Feely gets involved in the handler court with Savage and Schulz and Steven against this Koda zone. Feely also playing in Masters divisions, Grandmasters divisions. He's been playing for Kamloops in a long time and has worked really hard to get this crew where they are. Savage, scooper over to Feely. Savage gets it around to Steven. Koda sticking with this zone. Schulz crashing. He's able to find a hole, having no problems with his backhands in this win. Blay sticks around to make it continue. Feely has Schulz, and Schulz up points leader in these tournaments. No surprise that he gets another score. So, O-line efficiency from Parched, the score, 4-2.
Parched has a ton of depth right now. We were saying we have so many players that play Masters, Grandmasters, and then moving from the juniors up from Helios all the way up to this team. Like, they have depth all around. Lots of coaching, lots of mentors, lots of leadership on here. So it's working for them. They got some smart people out there and some legs as well. So
yeah, Parched at a phase now as well where they do hold tryouts and they can make cuts and that sort of thing. I'm not sure if they, how exactly they conducted anything this year, and I'm checking, but I do know they're at the stage now at their level where they're able to make assessment on players and see if they'll have a spot on the roster.
Kamloops, their junior program is amazing right now. They're doing such a good job of just streaming into this, and having a mixed team like this that they can work towards is really fun. Pull is up.
That pole just sails out. It looked pretty good. And it's going to be close, but just a little too much zip in this wind. You want to use the wind and put an edge underneath it to get it moving, but not always going to work out. Captain Keegan Miller picks up. And he'll face off against this zone. Seen a lot of wheels from Jesse Harrison there, so he immediately crashes in to get it moving. Lefebvre, an anchor this game, has Miller on the open side. Koda getting a break from the wind here. There's a lull. Carter Dundas with some bumps on the marks. Miller doesn't care. Harrison's there for the crash. Gee, I feel like Koda's doing a really good job moving it quick here.
They are.
But now a little stuck maybe. Calling the double team. Foul violation, could be the fast count, could be the, yeah, we need to, you guys can't just tap it in. We need to know what happened. Everybody does on the field.
Let us know, please. They're talking about whether or not they're going to go for donuts later. Conversation's longer than expected for a call.
Anything for comfort after playing in these conditions is something to do after the game. The Fav looking for options. He has stones there, but he runs out of time, is able to pop that over, but Dundas is signaling that he had the stall count finished. Alex Bedley was there to provide the release. The Fav was saying he doesn't think so. No, he agrees.
Agrees.
So Parched with some team defense against the zone there is able to force the stall down. So no one's picked up Diao on the side. Beck fakes that she's going to throw to him, but probably expertly reels it in. Dundas gets up to grab that windy swing. Bryce Loffer gets it back to Dundas. Liam Offstas has back on the open side. She's looking around. Diao tries to come off the front, Instead, she moves it Back to the middle to Lawford. Dundas getting involved from the front. Oh, no continue cuts until now for Parched. Their timing is a little bit off here, perhaps because everybody in the vertical stack in the end zone is cutting, forcing a pick. That's just speculation, though. I think they're just making sure everybody is in the right place. Observer Justin, making sure we know what the stall count is, how he's going to count it in to signal we're in, as Dundas did earlier, try and put this back into play too early. He goes to Diao, but Miller shuts the door. Stones immediately facing off against the zone. This lots of success. Parched with the zone. Harrison's been getting himself involved in this handler core to try and get it moving. Gee, we're seeing the field get flipped now. This is where Koda wants to be.
Exactly. They're moving it pretty well, but they keep getting stuck on that sideline. They're trying to crash through that cup of Parched, but there we go. There's the swing. We're needing that. But it's right after that crash that they're not getting a continuation right now. So they're getting a little stuck after the second or third throw.
Right here, I'd like to see a bounce to the middle. Stone should go
Yes.
to Harrison, and then Harrison needs to immediately have someone available.
Yeah,
There, that's it, right there.
that's the one.
But
And
see, there's no continue after that, right? Koda needs to get maybe more players involved, but somebody right there so that the cup can't get back into position. Harrison, though, says, fine, I'll do it myself.
there it is.
He elects not to throw to the deep shot, which was covered. Looks tantalizing, but looks it off. Stones now has Miller up the line. He's able to jump the gap between Dundas and Beck. He doesn't like the up line. Tries to go IO to the middle, but Diao with the D, and uh-oh, Diao. He is hurt. So he looks like he's in pain. We're going to hope he's okay. Did he get winded? You know what? It looks painful. It's agony, but that is actually the best case scenario.
Yes, not an arm, not anything crazy. Well, he looks like he's stretching.
Yeah, little yoga move.
Yeah, yeah.
Cobra, yeah. Yeah, I'm going to go with winded.
Right, landed right on his chest off
Yeah.
after that layup.
So an excellent D.
He's young.
He's young. He's fine.
He'll be back.
Yeah, that's why you get those 18-year-olds.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, he'll be back next point.
These young, spry men, they'll pop back up soon.
I remember what that was like.
How does it feel now?
Terrible.
Fully agree.
Lawford. He's going to put up the huck to Schultz. But that just hangs in the wind. We've seen a lot of that. Speaking of, somehow Ioannidis brings that in. The wind asserting itself. Carreri finds Stones up the line. Parched electing to stay with their zone close to the end zone. Miller finds the hole to Carreri. He's looking for options. Has a lot of time though, but bounces off the hands of Fabian Lefebvre. Schultz is going to pick up. He had a deadly backhand from this position earlier. Instead, has a big IO chance to Liam Ofstas. He'll go right back to Schultz, who found a hole in the middle with the easy flip to a wide open receiver and a massive break point for Parched. The score 5-2. Gee, I feel like that firmly puts Parched in control this half, moving forward in this game.
Fully agree. Koda's right in it though. They're finding the holes. Miller's doing a great job just kind of destroying that middle part there and just getting through. But it's just a little stuff at the end. And then Parched is taking advantage of it every time.
Lexi Veller made a really good move there, noticing that Charles probably had the best chance of making that catch, and he drew all the coverage. She kind of peeled off and went to the end zone, so it was immediately available for that flip from him. So props to her in thinking about what is going to happen next and having faith in her teammate to make the catch. It's getting a little windier, G.
It's picked up a few kilometers.
Yeah, that is the forecast for today. We're supposed to get some moisture. Not as much as we had earlier in the week, thankfully. If you hadn't already seen, there is a second stream going for Ultimate Canada. It is on the field that's actually just behind from our perspective, field number 2 at this tournament. It is video only. There's no audio. There's no coverage from your intrepid reporters like ourselves. But if you want to watch any games that are on right now, Union is playing Schweik behind us, so you can tune into that as well. Perhaps get both streams going, which would be, you got the monitor set up. Koda putting on some players we haven't seen yet to try and change things up on offense here. Almost works, but somebody gets a hand on that. I didn't see who it was.
I think it was her back. She was running backwards and it just hit her.
Oh, was that Wong?
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Oh, Petcap. All
Yeah,
right.
it was Petcap.
McCarty tries to go for the strike. It was there. It just bounces off his hands. John Agda looking for the hole up against a double team here. Parched really flooding in front, following any player into the front with that defense. It's just a big jumping Patrick Mavity that's trying to get in the way. And doesn't, so a huck goes up. It's a weird read for number 72, Matthew Sullivan, who almost had the catch. Stelk. That's a vertical set from his offense. Koda has kind of figured it out. They're doing a little poaching in the lanes of their own. Stelk forced to swing it around to Pat Cow, but that goes over her head. Scary opportunity for Callahan for Koda there.
I was getting nervous for her. But Callahan's in this wind.
Agno with some patience throws under the foot of his defender and finds Luis Machado. And Agno with one of the funniest celebrations I've seen on this field all weekend.
I like that. I'm giving that an 11 out of 10.
11 out of 10, wow.
11 out of 10.
High praise. So that's a hold. The score 5-3. I mean, Koda not going away. The change up in personnel paid off for them there. You know, get some fresh legs and some fresh looks, fresh eyes on the situation. Sometimes you got to change things up. You know, when you're knocking on the end zone door with the barbell and it just won't open, you need to do something about that. That's one, Andrew. But moving right along, Koda now is in a good spot. I mean, scoring on that side of the field was really important. But I mean, they are having to move up the harder side right now. Like getting that goal, you get in the game. You have to get this right. You have to show Parched here that you can score confidently in both directions. You've really struggled in your red zone, moving to the right side of the field right now with this wind. And Parched's O-line, looking at it right now from our perspective, you've got some really heavy hitters out there, kind of the standard 7. You might have noticed, if you're not too familiar with the mixed division, the gender ratio switches every 2 points. So this ratio at this point, there are 4 women matching players on the field right now. And what's interesting in the mixed division, that often changes up your strategy of what you're going to do, and that just misses us. So that pull is out of bounds. G would have had it.
I was waiting for it. My only catch of the week.
Yeah, you were coaching.
I was coaching. Yeah.
Your Wheaties.
All the Wheaties. Great bunch of group. Just great bunch of girls. Like it was awesome. We had some players from other cities, so it was kind of cool to get others develop into and playing and experiencing CUCs. You can't beat this weather.
Savage.
Ah.
Has Wong on the open side. Good gainer of a cut. That's about 15 yards. Schulz is going to go up the line. And Koda might be onto something here. Number 3, Matthew Carreri is like, yeah, I know what you were doing, and gets in the line of Schulz there, but it bounces off the hands. That is down. Seth Stevenson did get on the second of it, but he agrees, yeah, I did drop that.
Good spirit.
Savage picks up. Airs it out for Wong. She goes up early. Gee, like you said earlier, the wind's just, it's hanging.
It's hanging.
Machado picks up. He's hustling up because he notices that Parched is not totally in defensive position. Fakes the hawk. Schultz, though, didn't seem too worried deep. This works its way back. I like what I'm seeing from Koda this time. A drop, though, but they had lots more action in the middle. So that is the strategy they needed, but just an execution error by Zhu. Schultz picks up, goes immediately to an uncovered Savage. Got an ISO offense set up here. We're seeing Play just at the front of the end zone all by himself. What do you think of that end zone strategy, Kate?
Oh, it's so clean. I think, like, they're moving it to the open person. Then they had such a nice, easy break throw that just opened up the other side.
Yeah, and
Smooth.
when you only got one person in the front of the end zone to contend with and everyone else is at the back, showing a lot of discipline, not getting in the way, waiting their turn.
You did have a lot of junior games, didn't you?
I don't know.
Was it a
what
little cloggy?
you mean.
Was it a pick
The
city?
very idea that you would make such an insinuation.
Discipline in the end zone. It's a good time.
Discipline in the end zone is a good time. Maybe not always junior teams either. Jeez, like Masters teams.
You know what, Masters teams?
Take some notes.
Actually, all teams. We all are guilty of it, and none of you on the comment section tell us otherwise. We know. We've been there. But yes, one person in that end zone, it clears up so much space. You have so much room to move, and you avoid the picks, and it just allows the throwers to kind of hit the open spots. So, discipline.
Discipline. Do not lack it. All right, this pull from Parched is going to land on the edge, allowing Parched to get down, but Koda also hardly trying to move it quickly. Seeing a more standard O-line back out there for Koda. They're moving it quickly against this zone. They pop it over the top. Rhiannon Hodgson has done a good job of bringing down those high throws. She stuck around in the middle, and now we're seeing a far better look from Koda as Parched drops in to match. Stones reels that in just inside her reach. Bedley provides the reset for her. She has the Fev. She remains open on the reset, but Koda's moving backwards. Miller makes sure they don't lose any position coming under, flips it back to Stones. He goes up the line, triple coverage. No real punish from Koda. And Jen Beck with the run through, but the second effort as that disc just wouldn't hit the ground. Lauren Reed keeping it alive for Koda.
What a read by Lauren Reed. Seriously.
Yeah. Now, Stones blew a tire there. She's okay. Beck calling a stall down on Reed's throw. Reed signaling no contest, so that will be a turnover. We're just going to wait for everybody has to stay where they are to wait for the disc to go back to where it should be. On this turnover, the disc has to get tapped to indicate the play is back live, because a stall is a call, right? And it does make the play dead. So watch this. And tap, disc is live. Now everybody can move around. John McCarty looks for back under. He stretches out to the side. Parched. Happy to see him working well with what he's got. He'll come back under, and it just bounces off his hands. They move it to the middle. Mafty on the mark against Lefebvre. Mafty has been a big presence in front of the disc. But that shot, it seemed to be a little lull in the wind, G.
Yeah.
And in the air for Koda, it has just been Rhiannon Hodgson all day. They get the hold. The score, 6-4.
We talked about in the beginning how some of Koda's bigger throws weren't working, and they were just sitting a little too long for them or soaring a little bit far into the end zone. But now they're starting to hit a little of those. The popovers are happening. They're also avoiding all the height and trying to do it away from all the height.
Away from the giant
The giant
that
hands.
Parched has on their D-line here.
So they're doing a good job. They're seeing the field and they're seeing what they're getting. They're being given, and they're coming back slowly, crawling up there.
You might notice the field's a little bit brown. This showcase field has seen a lot of action. Sponsored by Discraft and BE Ultimate here on this field, as well as many others that we will get to throughout the weekend, shouting out our sponsors. But the Alberta Sports Complex, it's all grass fields here. It's one facility. There's lots of parking. It is a perfect place to play. The weather doesn't always cooperate, but that has nothing to do with how well kept and resilient these fields are. We really appreciate being here. Thank you, former Mayor Ivor Dent of Edmonton.
And thank you, Edmonton Ultimate.
Savage has Schultz in the middle. Schultz being backed. He's a huge threat. His throw is picked up by quite a walloping gust right now. Machado is going to put that up. There's going to be lots of traffic underneath it. Savage goes over the top. And I think that was some blue on blue or some red on red action there as Schultz came in to make the play and made contact with Savage. From what I can tell, I do believe as well that Matthew Sullivan felt that Schultz came across his body and knocked his hands out of the play. Team Orange down there as well, having a conversation about what happened. Yeah, but speculating, it looks like Sullivan is signaling that his arms were pushed out of the way.
They're going to the observer.
Yeah, and you know what? I almost think Savage actually had that all day, and it was the effort by Schultz that fortunately unfortunately for Parched, made contact with both Sullivan and Savage. And Schultz is awarded the yellow card. Observer Justin saying that's just too dangerous. Sometimes the key about dangerous play that people forget, it's the choice you make at the time. It's not the result of what happens. If you make a choice that can result in non-minor contact that can be considered dangerous, and then you follow through on that choice no matter what happens, it's automatically that was a dangerous maneuver.
Yeah.
And that is why Schultz is awarded the card. The physical result could have been nothing. Mm-hmm. It could have been worse, but the point was when the choice was made, it was just too much. So Sullivan comes down with the disc, and he'll flip that around to Agda. It's hanging. He hustles to go get it. He's looking for options. Goes to Machado underneath. He flips that around to Melville. To Machado. He's going to go all the way across the middle to Sullivan. That's too spicy. I don't like that pass, G. That's a really hard one to complete.
That's a tough one. It's very tempting. As a handler, you think it's super open, but right now you have a few things to work with. This wind isn't going to help you, and it's a really, really tough throw to go across the field.
Giorgetti has the deep shot to Wong. That time it's in the window where she can get it. She'll put that out to play. Is it going to sit? No, this point, the wind is not Parched's ally.
Nor Koda's.
No, well, yeah.
Yeah.
Hates everybody. Luck coming under from Machado. It's not there. Instead, the handlers will play together. Play is outside of the end zone on that interception. Almost Callahan. He sticks with Feely. Feely's able to bring that in. What a defensive play by Blay. He's going to get props from his teammates, as you can see. The score is 7-4 Parched.
What athleticism.
What athleticism.
He just popped out of nowhere and just ripped it. Young people. Kudos to you. I'm applauding you all.
Gee, do you think if it were young people on the commentary, they would constantly be talking about the old people?
We should do more of that.
Yeah,
but
I
this
feel like
is
they wouldn't.
senior division.
They're not yet living vicariously up here in the booth.
I'm living vicariously through the young people.
Yeah. I mean, play down here in front of us, complaining he was so close once the Cal hit on stream. I've never
Inches.
seen someone more upset with themselves after such a good play. But, you know, great athleticism from him, but shows the hunger. I was so close. I had the Cal.
And even in a long point, they just kept grinding it out. So the grit.
The grit. Well, the halftime will be taken when a team reaches 8 points because we weren't time capped and Parched is at 7 now. Beck's pole lands just in front of the brick. Diao coming down on the mark. Stones, who has been a major handler, picks up. Tips that to Alex Bedley. He goes over top of the zone, back to Stones. This is where we've said Koda needs to flip the field, or at the very least, keep this zone on the back step. And they do. Watching those Parched players have to make adjustments. While they're making those adjustments, the disc continues to move. But now they're stuck. This is what Parched wants. The Fef is able to find the hole to Ioannidis. Seeing Lauren Reed back out there after the earlier injury call. That's great to see. She's right outside of the end zone. Tries to sneak it to Miller, but Diao is there to take it. Also good to see him back on the field after the injury call on the D play earlier. Goodwin. Oh no, excuse me. Kopis has Beck behind her. She flips it backwards. Beck tries to go around the pet cow, but it's Rhiannon Hodgson once again in the air, bringing it down, but turfs it to Miller. And Koda had the read on that. Huck coming up, and Fabian Lefebvre gambles and tries to get in front of it, and it pays off. Gets the big double-handed stuff. Now he needs some cutters, but no one's moving. Has the great IO break to Alex Bedley. Immediately comes to get it back. Is going to go for the flip to Hodgson. She falls down. And Ioannidis was not quite prepared for that pass coming to her. I mean, gee, just the red zone problems for Koda this game.
All red zone. Everything else, they're breaking through that. They're breaking through that zone right now so quickly, but they're still not being able to just kind of easily have something clean inside that middle there.
Claire makes the 45 back for Beck. Beck's left open, so Koda stuffing in the middle. She has the IO over to Kopes, but it's a little too high. Lefebvre noticing he's got Hodgson deep. She'll come under. Everybody on Koda cuts to the same place, so he needs to reset. Hodgson makes a second effort, but once again, that disc just getting turfed. Petkow looking for the reset. Beck able to get it, but Bentley saw it coming and hustles. Stones turns to her team and says, everyone settle down. You actually can't intentionally delay it. It's only a 3-second delay game if you do that. So Miller goes to get it because Parched seems to know. Stones. Little pigeon catch with Miller. Reed goes up the line. It's not there. Bentley comes down from the front. And there's a pick call. It seems Stones went up the line, but Beck was caught behind both Bedley and Lawfer there. Bedley's going to look to Miller. Miller tries the triple cut. Parched with a great help D. Koda punishes it this time. Lefebvre had Bedley. Ioannidis, can she keep it in? No. Rushed throw, almost kept it up. I think he had more time, but I think I saw a foul signal maybe on the throw, G.
I believe so too. Saw a hand signal from observer Justin over there.
Lots of conversations with observer Justin this week. Lots of interesting things to talk about, especially after juniors. No further comment? Timeout, Koda. Smart by the fan. I mean, we saw Stones at point two, signaling to your team, chill out.
They need it. They need to chat it out. They need to figure out what they want to do.
Yeah. Although, you know, there's a strategy that lots of Ultimate players from our generation use that when they want to chill at their team. If there's a turnover on the ground, no one picks it up. You kind of walk away from it. You tell your team, relax. You stand back. You wait for them to get it. There's a rule that if you are intentionally delaying to put the disc back into play, no matter where you are on the field, and intentionally trying to give your team a chance to get organized, it's only 3 seconds.
3 seconds?
Yeah, so you can actually have a player from the defense walk up to the disc and count delay game 3, 2, 1 and start counting stalls. It's different if it's like, you know, you're walking to the disc or jogging up to the disc. If it's not, you know,
it's
an obvious tactic that you're trying to delay
Yes.
putting it back in, you can take your time and walk up to the disc. But if you walk away from it, stand back, do the old, you know, hands on the hips, watch your team get into the vertical stack, take a breath, then walk up. That actually, the defense can call a 3-second delay game on you. Fun fact.
The timeout then was a good call because I think they wanted something happening, but it wasn't. And that 3 seconds would have just really.
Yeah, we haven't seen a timeout call from this half.
No, we haven't.
Good time to use it. Once the offense is set, the defense in red here does get an extra 20 seconds to set up their D. That's how timeouts work. We're seeing an ISO to Stones set up here. Looks like Miller is going to be the other option. She tries the scoop cut to get around Beck, and she reels it in. Kick spike. And Koda needed that to bring the score to 7-5. As we begin to feel some raindrops, let's go Edmonton weather.
We got it. We can take it. We've been here long enough. We're so used to the weather now. That's what I would tell all the teams right now as they're playing
Yeah,
in it.
it's fun.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. Why aren't new commentators up in the scaffolding used to it yet? Jeez.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're warm.
No, we're not.
No, I lied.
No. We want to try and look at some updates from you, but we've built a little fort up here out of tarps. But I am just looking around.
Yeah, kudos to you for making this tarp fort, protecting us from the wind.
Learned a lot when I was a kid. But lots of mixed division action happening right now.
I believe the women start at 12.
I believe
A lot of
so. Our open division has already had 2 games occur, which was their power pools. Oh, and a little bit of a false, or almost offside, I should say, by Koda, but they get reorganized. Savage flips that to Schulz in the middle. Schulz has the around flick to Wong, and it just bounces off. Those ones are deceptive. When the wind slows it down, you have to recalibrate, and it bounces off her core. But Koda now has had trouble scoring in this direction. Cannot stress how important this is right now. And Miguel was looking for Machada, but gee, I actually didn't see what happened.
He slipped.
He slipped.
Yeah, he slipped.
A blown tire, if
A
you will?
blown tire, but I think he landed. Yeah.
Oh, someone stepped on his foot.
Thank
Obviously,
you.
that's the only way he must have fell down. The
Ah,
sideline,
Schultz.
No, not a chance. He fell down on his own.
Nope.
No, of course not. So,
I'm going to go with slip still. It's pretty mucky out there.
yeah. No, you know what? Foul, no contest. So the Koda sideline
foul.
needs to get up here and put the headsets on. We don't know what we're doing.
We're trying.
So some clean on clean action. Okay, yeah.
Happens all the time.
Migdal looking for a reset. She's got to put that up with not a lot of time left. The wind makes it hang. Everybody gets involved, but the disc sails out of bounds. Savage picks up, has Schulz going deep. Savage is going to take that shot. Will it hang? Leg and left for Schulz. Blaze coming in to try and make the play, and it's just not there. On a better conditioned day, that's a completion.
Schultz for Blaze. That was a pretty good run.
Yeah,
for him.
I mean, yeah. Machado facing off against the sloppy zone. Savage poaching in the middle, but doesn't pay off for Parched as Koda's able to punish that. Don't get much field position off of it, though. Now they do, using some good use of negative space and quick movement. Sorry, that was Yumin Key that had the give-go action going on. That pass brought down by Blay. A frustrated Seth Stevenson wanted that, but Blay took the inside position. So sees Blay going deep, decides not to take it, wants the reset. Giorgetti is there, Savage is there. Elects to go to Blay. I think he was trying to throw the fakes because he knew Blay was going to come under, but I'm not sure if Blay had quite the eye contact he wanted to know that was coming to him.
Also seemed like a higher stall count. So 7 or 8.
Shadow airs this out. Giorgetti's in the area. She brings it down and just trips over her check. They're good. Accident. Disc is back in play. She fakes it to Blay. Has the around to Wong. To Shawls. He's going to shoot. Giorgetti tries to clean it up. It sailed over the head of Grace McDonald. Giorgetti coming all the way back for the bookend score, but just a little short. Machado's going to pick up. Savage gets right down there to set the mark. Doesn't want to get a break. Putting a lot of pressure on this center handler for Koda. No resets available until Koda realizes what's happening. Ashley Zhu able to help. She's still available. Instead, Sophie Goodwin comes under. But once again, Koda is trapped on the hard side of the field.
This poachy zone is working for them right now. More so a poachy match, but it's working and they're forcing some crazy stuff.
Foul, no contest here against Machado. Savage seemed to fall on him after he kind of muscled his way up the line.
Koda really wants to fight for these small spaces right now. They're looking for that up line every single time, and it's just a battle with all of the Parched players. I think I've seen at least 3 or 4 different ones going in there. Tight space.
Indeed. Savage with the hand block as Machado tried to go inside to Carreri. Savage will pick up and calls a timeout. Everyone's still moving. No one knew Savage called that timeout. But I think smart. Oh, see, a very clear signal now.
Thank you. The
But we
camera
saw-
finally saw it.
Yeah, Yeah, so he decides it's time to reorganize, give his team probably more of a breather than anything.
These points are long.
I think both teams could perhaps benefit from the fact that they've really established that they're going to huck, wind or not, and start making some really aggressive strikes with some big fakes and perhaps get a bunch of defenders out of position, because we've also seen that when players go deep, the defense really collapses on them. When we see players really commit to a hard up line, like really pistoning into the ground, hard going up line, Parched defense really collapsing on those handlers up line and really starting to bait
They're baiting
that
it.
and then turn it into something else, whether it's a big undercut or maybe on the handler it's a big around. But finding that next dimension off of their hard work, turning one cut into something that's better, that might be more favorable for the conditions, rather than putting big strikes and then thinking about the shot and then being like, yeah, okay, which isn't working out.
No.
Stahl's going to come in at 1.
A nice vert set right now.
Now,
Not too pick heavy.
Now, no matter what the stall count that Machado had, or Carreri, whoever was on Savage, it wasn't Stevenson. If you change the mark, on the person who called the timeout, you have to reset the stall count. So it is coming in on 1. Savage has a wide open under. It's what I wanted to see, but didn't quite see it in time to McDonald. He swings at the Schultz. Steven has the great undercut. Parched really using the unders here in this vert stack until they can open up a strike to Schultz. He's not quite in the end zone. He's going to flip it to Wong, and Parched takes half. A great job by Parched there off that timeout to set up an efficient set of unders there. Exactly what we wanted to see, G, with our coaching hats on. And that takes us to halftime. The score 8-5. Well, we're going to run some ads real quick and then see if both teams want to send up a player for a quick interview. G's going to be conducting those interviews. Yeah, surprise. So I'm going to run downstairs and get them. We'll cut the audio while those ads run, and we'll be back in a second. If you don't want to hear the interviews and you just want the second half action, halves are 7 minutes. So you can, get up, go get some coffee, move around, go touch grass. That's what the kids say, right?
I don't know what they talk about anymore.
We'll be right back.
I love working with a team towards a common goal.
For the camaraderie.
Camaraderie and playing with my teammates.
I play for my team.
Teamwork and the connections that I can build on and off field.
For the community and the exercise.
Because of the community and the competition.
I like playing Ultimate Frisbee for the competition.
I play for the competition and the fun.
For fun.
Because fun.
I love getting to work hard.
You get out of it what you put into it.
Leave everything out here.
Every time I step on the field, I want to be a better player.
Give something people to talk about.
Be happy but never satisfied. To step away from real life and focus on Frisbee.
I play because I love Ultimate.
Find your drive.
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 Hey everyone, we're back, and I am now with Duncan Schultz from Parched. Just talking about the game. What's going well for you guys right now in the first half?
I think when we're utilizing the break side, it's very easy on offense. But sometimes we don't use the break side and we jam it up the open side, and then it gets a lot harder and it becomes more turnover and long points. So if we can clean that up in the second half, then I think we'll be doing just fine with our offense.
Sweet. And second half, tell me more about what you guys want to do defensively. Because right now, your defense looks like it's working. You're doing a lot of things and making it really hard for them. Anything else? Or?
Yeah, the defense is playing amazing. I mean, they always do. They're kind of the backbone of our team. Actually, just defense in general is the backbone of Kamloops when that goes to Parched and bleeding all the way into the juniors. So defense is our thing. I think they're probably a little disappointed they haven't converted more because normally we don't actually have to play that much. So, but I'm sure they'll clean that up in the second half because, yeah, we have a lot of relentless pressure on that side. So, yeah, they give us a lot of opportunities to succeed.
Awesome. And how cold do you think this is right now in terms
well,
of...
I'm playing, so it doesn't feel as cold as all. But last week I coached, and the final day was in that rainstorm, and I don't think I've ever been more miserable. So... during that day, it felt like minus 20. Today, it feels more normal.
All right, normal day. Thank you. Thanks for the interview, and good luck in the second half.
Thank you very much. No problem.
Hey everyone, we're back, and now I have Keegan Miller from Koda. Just want to talk about your first half. How did you feel that went, and what are you guys going to do next?
Well, I think first off, credit to them. They're throwing a zone defense that has, challenged us and kept us trapped on the low end rail a lot of times. The emphasis is still, when we start moving that way, try and punch it upwind back to the high side. Make good decisions in the red zone. It's slipperier than it looks. Unfortunately for the fans at home, I think that the weather has been picking up throughout the tournament, so I think you can expect some more crosswind action in the second half here, but keep playing.
Sweet. And second half, defensively, how are you going to try and stop Parched? Because they got some height over there and some speed, so.
They do. They're a big team, and we are, at least at the moment, not very big. So we will do our best with those jump balls, try and take body position, but most of all, we know that they really love to work through Duncan and Coco, and our emphasis is really to stop that disc from getting to the cutter layer right away. We're trying to make sure that the handler set and the cutters get disconnected as best we can.
Awesome. Good luck in the second half.
Thanks so much.
Hope the wind stops.
Well, we're back for a second half of a mixed pool play game between Parched from Kamloops, BC, and Koda from Cambridge, Ontario. Two teams in their second year who have spent a lot of time working as a tight-knit community to get where they are, and both have identified that they really work with each other to support each other and keep each other going. Seeing those halftime huddles, hearing how they have to make tactical adjustments, but just be there for each other, don't leave each other on a ledge. Kind of the sort of talk you're expecting from teams that are these, grassroots groups just bursting onto the scene here. Koda starts on offense. Offside, so what Koda can do here is let the pole hit the ground, and offside is when the defense crosses the goal line before the pole's in the air, and Koda then, the offense, can let the disc hit the ground and bring it to the brick. X marks the spot, so favorable field position. Didn't matter as it goes over the head of Stones, so Beck there to make the play, and then brings in the goal. I'm going to chalk that double happiness up to Jen Beck.
That is Jen Pony Beck right there.
Pony?
Yeah, she uses those legs real well. Nice and quick.
It's almost like you know her.
Just a little bit. Played against her a ton, and now playing with her for GM, so that's super fun.
Yeah. We may seem a little biased, but if you don't know, Jen was also a commentator in the junior division, so she's kind of, if anything, she's on team commentator, so we like her. But that was a great heads-up play by her. I mean, once again, seeing that veterancy, though, objectively, the veterancy for Parched coming into play there. I think the young players on that team can watch that sort of stuff and say, holy cow, our Grand Masters player just generated a break instantly. So, that is great momentum for Parched. They put themselves on the hard side of the field just like that.
Exactly.
And just demoralizing for Koda.
Yes. And the fact that you use the word veterancy instead of old age it's quite nice of you.
I, too, just aged into the Grandmasters division.
Congratulations. Welcome.
So
welcome.
Veterancy is the, the most negative word I will ever use. Everything is just going up, just going up. Nowhere to go but up. Glass half full, as producer Kat would say. That pole's going to go out of bounds. Miller will pick up. For those wondering, if you weren't watching the second stream, the Union Sweet game has concluded. Score was 15-1 for Union. Miller will tap this in. And has Harrison in the middle. He's looking for options. We'll go with the offhand swing to Stones. He gets it back. He wants a hole in the middle. That's where the weakness has been. Parched still trying to clog that middle, but they seem to be collapsing more into an FSU style where they're playing person defense, kind of poachy against the handlers while zoning in the middle. The more personnel Koda can put in the back, the better for this, but that pass just kind of on the hip of Miller, and he drops it. McCarty's going to put it up for Dundas. Dundas rails it in. He's looking for options. We'll flip that back to Mavity. And thought he had Dundas. That's kind of a weird one. I wasn't sure who he was throwing to.
And it looked pretty like a no spin. Just kind of tried to toss it, right?
That ain't gonna fly.
Would that be called inexperience for the youngins? But I don't know how young that guy was.
Veterancy in development.
Veterancy in development.
Harrison now, halfway up the field. Flips that around to Bedley. Stones in the middle. This core group has done so much work as handlers to keep the disc moving. But when you get tired, your timing's a little off. You don't have continues. It doesn't matter, Harrison says, as he did earlier, I'll do it myself. But now this stall, and not the count, but the slowing down of the offense is tough, and Harrison has to pick it back up. He does, and finds Reed in the end zone. So Koda with a good answer to a big gaffe that was the last point. They don't let it get them down. They work hard on offense to work it to the difficult side of the field. Still keeping themselves in at the score, 9-6 for the team in red. Harrison's having a great game.
I think so too. Harrison's moving it well, seeing the holes. Can't be stopped right now in that zone, but he's throwing it really well. So he's got to keep that up if they want to come back at this point.
I would like to see someone else other than Harrison making those really aggressive moves in the middle. The other handlers on Koda have been pretty consistent.
Yes.
I'm not trying to say that, Stones and Lefebvre and, pardon me, Miller.
I do feel like Stones is doing a good job of moving that as well, but maybe her attacking that space could help.
Exactly. I think they need to rotate all four of those players into the attacking space rather than putting those three at the back swing and then just having Miller do it. Because it is, Parched has made bids on them, and it has to be something that Harrison can sustain. And if Parched figures it out, you're going to have to get other personnel in there to make that happen. So maybe just being a little bit more dynamic amongst your core players rather than kind of, assigned roles. Parched's pass is up too high. Code is able to make the D quite easily in the deep space. They're going to air that out to Agda. Savage takes it over 3 people. Giorgetti. She'll go over to Steven. Savage. His pass is low, but Feely has no problem with it. Poachy defense. Off the handlers. So it's a slough where the handler defenders try and stand in the way of the lanes. Everyone else is playing match defense. Feely has Schulz on the break side, but had a wide open Steven for a reset, so she'll take it. Gives Schulz another chance to set up a cut. Feely taking his time. Waits for Schultz to get open. Schultz, his defender's on the ground. So is Savages. They are off to the races with the give-go. And Schultz and Savage just decide to dominate that point. And Schultz, when he got to the end zone, I love that move of the pump fake and waiting. I got to say, it's like the law of the give-go. You can do it all the way down the field, and then your pass to the end zone is just something goes wrong. And Schultz takes that extra second to shake it up, throw the fake so that Savage can make a different move. Excellent punish by them when their defenders got out of position or fell down.
So good. Great movement. Once you get that give and go going and you have nobody around you, you got to attack it, right? You got to keep going. And like you said, that play in the end zone line there where Schultz just held on for that 1 second.
So smart.
Made it easier. He fell out. He went down after because he was so tired sprinting down most of the field doing that give and go. So he worked hard for it.
He did work hard for it. The score 10-6. That was a hold for Parched. Our games are played to 15 or there is a time cap, but we're not worried about that until we start hearing the horns, and then I will happily tell you how that works.
Please do.
Not yet. Wait, I'm trying real hard here, G.
Do better, Clay.
Hofstas pulls it in the mixed division when the ratio is 4 women matching and 3 male matching. It must be the gender with the majority of players on the field that pulls the disc.
I love that rule.
It's a great rule. Koda, once again, using those personnel we were talking about up front. Seems to be a little bit more dynamic this time. I like this. Harrison does line up in the front. There seems to be a hold of Hodgson. Big smile on her face as she knows she has it. She puts that up to high into this, but Stelk with the safe defensive play aims not to truck his defender, or his check that is, and his Mac popped up in the, when you see the hands on the knees, he can't
It's
believe
okay.
it. And Ioannidis just staying with it. Like she knew it wasn't over. She saw it pop up. She's like, oh, I'll still go get it. Yes, thank you. Check. And
I bet you Stelk told his junior players to catch their D's.
I bet you
he did.
That was a conversation.
I told Coach Stelk will come back to this live stream and go, this is why you catch your D's.
Yeah, Helios Junior Open out there. I'm not saying you want to remind Coach Stelk about this. But I'm saying learning can happen at any time.
When you want to.
Yeah. And Stelk has worked so hard for his community.
He really does.
He's got this team going with Parched. He's got the Helios program. The man fights for his program. And you just see him on the line lamenting to Koda and Parched players alike that he's like, man, and doing the little jump tap. He knows. He's laughing about it.
We'll make fun for about 30 more seconds.
Yeah, we're going to talk about it. Don't worry, it's only just on tape and immortal forever. Sorry, Stelk. Feely goes for that pull. It just gets past his hands, but he's able to move it to Schultz. And a wide open McDonald in the middle gets it out of the end zone for Parched. That pass, though, over the top of Blaze there to clean it up. Giorgetti has Savage going deep. Savage versus Carreri. Savage gets up high and with the great grab and celebrates emphatically in Ben Savage fashion. The most energetic player we couldn't hold down on you, Vic. I'm lying. He's really chill.
McDonald really opened that one up for them. That first cut that she had just got everybody moving, and then it was boom, boom, boom. Lights out.
Lights out.
Lights out.
Score 11-7 for Parched. Both teams, back-to-back cool plays from both teams.
Yes. Loving the big plays. It's keeping me warmer.
Yes,
somehow.
It does make us forget about what we're doing.
Yeah, that's it. If we forget we're cold.
Yeah. I left our food down there.
Oh.
They do feed us. You know?
Thank you, Ultimate Canada.
Ultimate Canada, as well as the Edmonton Ultimate Association.
They gave me
Players
gloves.
Association. Yeah, like I said it yesterday on the stream, and I just can't stress enough how solid and calm and prepared the team of volunteers and staff at this tournament have been. Both the local organization and Ultimate Canada alike. Everything is taken care of. We are the only ones that are really suffering and reacting to the weather like babies. They are just on top of everything. So thank you so much for putting on such a good tournament so far. Stones has Miller around. Seeing a zone D from Parched here. Hodgson working in the middle with her team. Koda trying to move the disc quickly. Harrison once again using his speed to get some movement. Lefebvre brings that pass in. That's it. A lot of spice on some of these throws to deal with the wind.
Everyone watching at home, they're moving this disc really well. Like, it looks easy for them, but this wind is not forgiving right now.
Yeah, the snap on those passes, the concentration needed in these conditions is huge. You feel like you can do everything right, and it just doesn't go your way. And right now, these players, this offensive possession is just looking great. But then we talked about it, and McCarty brings it in, and he'll put that to a wide open Dundas. Does he have the read? He did, but it just bounces off his fingers at the last second. He puts his head down in disgust.
Sadness.
Sadness.
I think more so you had it, nobody was around you. Those are the hardest catches to make.
A big pass up to Reed, but that had the wrong edge on it, goes out of bounds. I hear the first horn signaling that after this point, it will be soft cap if our timing is correct. That pass hit the ground before it got to its player. So Koda now on the doorstep. Oh, I'm sorry, there is no soft cap in this tournament. I was thinking about juniors. So it's hard cap. So finish the point, finish the game, and if it's tied, it goes to universe. So if I'm not mistaken, that should be it. We have 90-minute game slots, and the hard cap goes at 85 minutes.
And that.
So hard cap went. That is the game. Parched takes it 11-8. What was the story for that game?
Oh, great. I think both teams are working it really well. I think defense was the story. Like, Parched had such a great, did such a great job just like covering the handlers and just making sure that there were no upfield passes. And then you had Koda come in and just make Parched work and really tried to shut down their big guns like Giorgetti and Scholes and everything. So the game was close. The wind made some crazy throws happen and some great catches. So overall, both these teams played really well in this wind.
Well, we are going to be back with you shortly for another windy matchup here in our mixed pool. It's going to be TT from Vancouver facing off against Quest from Quebec City. That round starts at noon, so take your 19 minutes to take a break. If you're at work, do some work for 15 minutes.
Or get some coffee and some donuts.
Yeah, don't do work.
Don't do work.
So we'll be back with you soon after this short break.
Stage to keep possession alive. Huge bid, gets the target.
Great opportunity for the Germans, and they break with ease.
Throw it the full 80 yards to the field? Are you kidding me?
And an incredible pick.
You are kidding me.
Oh my God! One of the plays of the year. On the grand stage to keep possession alive. Huge bid, gets the
It's a great
target.
opportunity for the Germans, and they break with ease.
Throw it the full 80 yards to the field. Are you